Hey everyone, this is my presentation on why I want to become a strength and conditioning coach in college. My name is Morgan, if you didn't already know. So the job description for being a strength and conditioning coach kind of varies on whether you're a head or assistant, but they kind of do the same, I guess you could say, responsibilities. So the first one is you design, implement, and conduct strength and conditioning programs for all types of sports at the university. So depending on what school you're at, one coach could make up all of them, or there could be different coaches that are making up different programs for each sport. And then the next one is to coordinate, maintain, and staffing of the weight room. Keeping the weight room clean at all times is a very important factor, and depending on if you're a head strength and conditioning coach, you are in charge of the staffing of all the rest of the strength and conditioning coaches in that weight room. The next one is identifying and purchasing needed strength and conditioning equipment with the provided budget that you get. Strength and conditioning programs only get a certain budget, so you have to pick and choose what is absolutely needed and decide what needs to be purchased within that budget. And then the last one is coordinate rehab programs for injured athletes. A lot of athletes have a training room where they have trainers that can help them do that, but sometimes those trainers aren't always available, and you're working out with them in a program anyways to improve their fitness. So giving them a rehab program to help with injuries that are keeping them from doing their best is a job that is required for strength and conditioning coaches. When it comes to a desired location that I would like to do this job at, I do want to go back home after I graduate, so the best bet for me back home for doing this is two schools, Sac State and UC Davis. Sac State is actually where I'm from, Sacramento, and UC Davis is probably about 15-mile drive from Sacramento, so it's not that far. Both of these universities are Division I, and Division I schools, since they have more money, they tend to have strength and conditioning coaches for each sport. At Division I universities, strength coaches can sometimes choose what sport they would like. The two sports that I would possibly choose if I had a choice at these schools would probably either be softball or basketball, just due to the fact that I've played both sports, so I know what is needed to improve your performance in both of those sports and things along that state. Why I chose the profession, there's a few reasons. In particular, my entire life has been revolved around sports, so it's what keeps me going. So I've always wanted to have a job that is in the sports field, just because I never get bored of it, I guess you could say. I've never been that type of person where I can have a sit down 8 to 5 job, and so it is one of my passions to have this as my profession coming out of college. And one main thing is I do have a very big desire of helping improve athletes' fitness levels to help them achieve not only their goals in the weight room, but also their goals on and off the field. So even their health goals that can help them out with life outside of their given sport. And then also this profession, just from experience, I know will always keep me on my toes with different obstacles, whether it be health-related issues of each individual that I have to deal with every day, or coming up with different programs that challenge different individuals. Not all individuals on a sports team are going to be the same, so I'm going to have to come up with programs that challenge everybody. So those are all the reasons as to why this profession is really what I want to do with my life. A good thing that for me, experience-wise, that would be a good reason as to why you would hire me is I've done an internship program here in the strength and conditioning department at Eastern, and it's a full semester internship, and like it has stated up here, I've assisted and monitored in various programs, whether it's men's or women's sports, through this entire semester. I've learned the necessities on keeping up the weight room, what needs to be clean, what needs to be done, and I have also helped numerous athletes from softball all the way to track on how to help with certain injuries. For example, there are a few girls on the softball team that have hip injuries, and instead of them doing the program that our head strength and conditioning coach, Larry Bernardo, has come up with. I have put them over to the side and made up my own rehab program for them, and it seems to be working so far, so we'll see how that goes in the long run. So that is why I want to be a strength and conditioning coach.